Hello, hello, hello. I believe we're about to go live. Hello. Right, I think we're live. Let's crack on. There we are. So, hone your speaker skills today. And I'm going to put this to quiet, otherwise we might get some feedback. Let's see. Yes, okay. So, I trust this is going to work. No. Okay, so hone your speaker skills. We are looking at notoriety. Now, when I sat down with that word notoriety to start with, it was looking at what do my audience want to know? How can I best serve them? And speakers want visibility and notoriety. And I sat with that word notoriety, resisting it, I'll be honest, because to me, notoriety was around being notorious, being known for something probably almost criminal, which I didn't want to be associated with. Then I stopped a minute and thought about it and went, okay, Wendy, that's your map of the world, but you're not serving you. You are serving your ideal audience. What might they think of the word notorious? And then I went all semantic and decided to look it up and check on the different possible meanings and synonyms and things that went with it. Notorious, notoriety, having something to be noted for, being remarkable, standing out, something that you are known for. And that doesn't have to be criminal. So I thought, okay, remarkable. What is it that I am known for? And it's basically the your words have power thing. Your words have power and committed to mad. Those are the two phrases that I can slip into and do slip into almost every conversation, whether it be a specific work sales call or general conversation, actually. Because I am kind of known for being committed to mad, making a difference if you hadn't already gathered. So yeah, my question for you is, what are you known for? Do you have a particular catchphrase, a particular word, a particular sentence, a phrase that people hear that phrase and think of you? That's my first question. And if you haven't, I would invite you to consider, is there a phrase that encapsulates what you do, how you make a difference in the world? What is it what's the transformational point that you are taking your audience to? Because we're all inspirational speakers who watch in on this. And inspiration's great. And if that's where it leaves you feeling all warm and fuzzy, magic. But what do you do with it? Because the warm and fuzzies won't stay for long. So is there something practical, something tangible you can hold on to from the warm and fuzzy? Committed to mad, committed to making a difference. And when people say, well, how'd you do that? That's when it leads on further in the conversation. Your words have power. Oh, what's that all about then? And I give examples of how important it is to be aware of the words that we use out loud to other people and also in here to ourselves. So those are the two things that I am known for. third thing I'd get you to consider. I was at a networking meeting recently when the icebreaker question was, what 3 words encapsulate you? If you were to ask people who know you, what 3 words would they come up with to express who you are? And I did a Facebook post on this, saying about this question and giving the initial letters of the 3 words, Q, E, and P. Well, quirky went very quickly because most people know me and describe me as quirky. And that's fine. I turn up in quirky mode because that's what people are expecting. The E came out as energetic, although enthusiastic was another option. But it was the P that got people thinking. And we had so many different variations on it. But in the end, it was playful. So the 3 states that people expect from me are quirky, energetic, and playful. I can live with that. And that's actually what I do make a point of bringing to the conversations that I have with people. So this notoriety business, it's around your message and it's around the state that you bring. How do you show up consistently for your audience, for your in the conversations you have with people? Because if you're pretty much the same as everybody else in your niche, you'll be forgotten. You know, when you've been to those networking meetings in the old days when we actually had physical, you could poke people, there were real life physical meetings. The number of people who would hand out business cards and say, oh, this is me, and walk off, and there was no relationship involved. And you'd come to look at the card the day or so later and think, well, who was that? They made no impression on you. There was nothing that you could hang onto that card as in terms of who they were, what they said, how their interaction with you went. Notoriety. What are you known for? Is there a phrase that regularly trips off your tongue, something that encapsulates what your message is, the transformation that you bring? Because people want to buy results. They want to know that you can lead them to some form of transformation. What can you be known for? What are the phrases, the words, the catchphrases, if you will? Because I'm sure you can remember some comedians who've had catchphrases that immediately come to mind. Now, I could come up with a few, but they'd be culturally specific to the UK and wouldn't necessarily be relevant to you. Which brings me on to another point. Who is your audience? Because if your catchphrase is context specific, people specific, beware, it may fall flat. So think about a phrase, a word. Do you remember I had my notorious was a little bit of a tricky one for me to start with? To go for something that has universal appeal and something that can be enough of a trigger for people to ask, what do you mean by that? And it's then an opener for your conversations on a one-on-one. It's also then something that you can be asked in a group situation, in a chat, if you're on Zoom or whatever, it comes up in the chat. What do you mean by that? You've got the opener for a further conversation. So think about a phrase, a word that encapsulates the transformation that you bring. And then think about the states, the energy that you turn up with. How are you going to be memorable? How are you going to be notorious to the people that watch you? Because there will be a lot of people who will, if you're on socials, they'll stalk you. They'll watch you from a distance. And it may take them 7, 8, 12 occasions watching you in action, particularly if you're doing it on a live, because lives tend to get the social push out, or you've got video material there anyway, because as we know, picture paints 1,000 words, and I've extended that to be a video paints 10,000. So if you're not putting out regular video material on your socials, do so. Get to be notorious. Have people watch you. Get to know that you are consistent in the way you show up and in the message. And if they are your ideal client, if they are your target audience, you will appeal to them sooner or later. So what are you notorious for? What do people associate with you, both in terms of your words, your catchphrase, and the way you show up? That's what I've got for you today. I'd love you to comment, whether here or in the Courageous Influential Speakers group, Facebook group, if you're a member. If you're not, DM me and let's get in touch. For now, bye from me.